Some houses keep secrets in their walls. But this one waited until someone was finally alone to open its eyes. The night had the kind of stillness that made every sound feel sharper, like the world was holding its breath. In the quiet edges of Maple Ridge, a calm, upper-middle-class American neighborhood where porches glowed with warm light and kids played until dusk, one house stood a little too still. Not abandoned, not broken, just wrong. A little too quiet for a place that looked so normal. That was the house where Jordan Hale, a 19-year-old college freshman, had grown up. He wasn't home often anymore, but tonight he was alone, his parents away for a weekend anniversary trip, and his younger sister staying at a friend's house. Just Jordan, and the house, the same house that had always felt safe. Until tonight, Jordan had been studying in the living room, surrounded by warm lamplight and the glow of his laptop screen. Everything was normal until he felt it, that microscopic shift in the air, the kind of shift you don't hear, you sense. Like the room had exhaled behind him. He turned around. Nothing. But it didn't feel like nothing. It felt like a presence had left the room. Slowly, Jordan brushed it off. Stress. Late night studying. Not enough sleep. The usual excuses people make so they don't have to think about what they felt. But the house wasn't done. While the wind outside barely moved, a faint, rhythmic creak echoed from the second floor. A single step. Then silence. The kind that presses against your eardrums. Jordan froze. His parents' house didn't make noises like that. It wasn't old. It wasn't settling. And no one else should have been home. He waited. Another creak. This time 2 steps closer. The sound wasn't random. It wasn't shifting pipes or wood flexing. It was footsteps. Jordan stood up, fists tight at his sides, trying to convince himself it was nothing. Maybe the house was cooling. Maybe the footsteps stopped. Right above him. The exact spot where his childhood bedroom used to be. For a long moment, silence sat in the room like something alive. Then, top, top, top. 3 slow knocks from somewhere upstairs. Jordan's skin chilled. The knocks weren't on wood. They weren't on a wall. They had that hollow, fleshy echo, human knuckles hitting something solid. He walked to the foot of the stairs, staring up into the dark. The hallway light upstairs was off. The shadows looked thicker than they should have been, like they swallowed more than they revealed. Hello! His voice barely cracked the silence. No answer. But the house wasn't quiet. Jordan heard breathing. Not loud. Not panting. Just a steady, controlled inhale and exhale. But it wasn't his. And it wasn't far. Jordan grabbed his phone, turning on the flashlight. The thin white beam cut through the darkness as he started climbing the stairs. Slowly, every muscle tight. Each step creaked under him except one. One step felt softer, like something had been standing on it, just seconds before. At the top of the stairs, Jordan turned left toward the old bedrooms. The breathing grew faint, like whoever was making it had moved deeper into the hallway. The light flickered, just a glitch from the phone, he told himself. But the house felt like it shifted again. Jordan stopped outside his old bedroom door. It was slightly open, just a sliver. His parents always kept it closed. He hadn't been in that room in months. He pushed the door open. The beam of light trembled in his hand as the room revealed itself. Dusty shelves, old trophies, scattered childhood memories, and something else. His closet door was wide open. Jordan always kept it shut. The closet wasn't empty. Inside, a tall, shadowy figure stood facing the back wall. Shoulders too narrow, neck too long, head tilted slightly like it was listening to something. But the figure didn't move, didn't react to the flashlight, didn't breathe. For a second, Jordan's brain refused to process what he was seeing. It looked like a man, but wrong, too still, too tall, too silent. Like a mannequin made of shadow. Then slowly, too slowly, the figure began to turn its head. Not its body, just its head. The movement was unnatural, stretching longer than a human neck should have allowed. When its head turned enough for Jordan to see a face, there wasn't one. Just smooth, pale skin where features should be. Jordan stumbled back, phone shaking violently in his hand. The faceless figure stepped forward. One slow, deliberate step. Jordan bolted out of the room, sprinting down the hallway, practically flying down the stairs. He grabbed the front door handle, and it didn't turn. Locked. But it wasn't locked before. He tried again. Harder, panic rushing through his chest. Behind him, the sound of slow footsteps descended the stairs. The faceless thing wasn't running. It didn't have to. It walked with the confidence of something that knew escape wasn't possible. Jordan threw his shoulder into the door. Desperate. Click. The lock released on its own. Jordan fell through the front door and into the night air, sprinting barefoot across the lawn without looking back. He didn't stop running until he reached the streetlight, the only glowing thing in the quiet neighborhood. When he finally turned back toward the house, the front door was closed. The lights were off. The house looked perfectly normal. Something was standing in the bedroom window, a tall silhouette with no face, watching him from behind the glass. Jordan didn't go back inside. Not that night. And the house stayed watching. Jordan didn't sleep that night. He didn't even sit down. He stood under the streetlight like someone clinging to the last dry patch of land while the water rose around them. The cold pavement bit into his bare feet, but fear drowned out everything else. Every time he looked at the house, the silhouette in the upstairs window didn't move. A perfect stillness, like the figure was carved into the darkness itself. At 3:12 a.m., the silhouette simply wasn't there anymore. Not moved, not faded, just gone. Like it had never been. Jordan didn't go back. He walked to the 24-hour diner on Oak Street and spent the rest of the night staring at a cup of coffee he never drank. The waitress asked twice if he was okay. He lied twice. By sunrise, exhaustion pushed him toward one truth. He would have to go back. The house wasn't just a building. It was his childhood map, his family's life, a piece of him. Abandoning it felt like letting something else claim it. And he hated that thought more than he feared the thing inside. At 7:40 a.m., with sunlight flattening out the night's shadows, Jordan stepped onto the front lawn. It looked innocent again, the house, the windows, the porch he'd sat on as a kid. The same breeze, the same familiar scent of cut grass. A normal American home, except he knew better now. Still, he grabbed the doorknob, turned easily, too easily. Inside, the house smelled stale, like the air hadn't moved all night, like nothing living had breathed in it. Jordan stepped in cautiously, scanning every corner. Nothing felt wrong in the morning. Horror rarely showed itself in full daylight. That's how it survives, by waiting until you relax again. Jordan walked room to room. Everything sat exactly where it should be. No signs of a break-in. No footprints. No damage. Nothing out of place except one detail. His old bedroom door was wide open. He knew he'd left it closed when he ran. Jordan approached it slowly. His pulse thudded in his throat. The morning sun cut a narrow beam across the carpet, illuminating floating dust. The closet door, closed. Jordan stopped. When he ran last night, it had been open. He stood there for a long minute, listening. No breathing. No footsteps. No shift in the air. He pushed the closet door open. Empty. No tall figure. No shadow. No movement. It wasn't hiding anymore. It was somewhere else. Jordan left the house again and called his parents. They were hours away and didn't take his fear seriously. His dad said houses make noises, his mom suggested stress, and Jordan didn't blame them. If he hadn't seen the faceless thing with his own eyes, he wouldn't have believed himself either. But as he hung up, he noticed something chilling. The house across the street, the old Carter house, had both curtains slightly parted. And behind the thin gap, someone stood watching. Not the Carters. Not any neighbor he recognized. A tall figure, unmoving, staring straight at him. Jordan blinked. Gone. His throat tightened. This thing wasn't trapped in his house. It wasn't bound to a place. It followed him. Or maybe more accurately, it wanted him aware of something. Jordan backed away from the window instinctively. For the first time, he felt like he was living inside the frame of a horror movie, and not the kind where things get better. That evening, he decided to stay home again. Running from the house didn't fix anything. Avoiding it didn't